The betrayal that doomed Roanoke. The colony of Roanoke was built on fragile hope and desperate ambition. When the 117 settlers arrived in 1587, they knew they were stepping into the unknown, a land both rich with opportunity and shadowed by danger. The English crown saw Roanoke as a foothold in the New World, a stepping stone toward expansion. But for those who lived it, Roanoke was an experiment in survival. And survival breeds secrets. Among the settlers was a man named Thomas Harcourt, a former navigator with a past shrouded in whispers. He claimed to have once served under Sir Francis Drake, but those who knew him better spoke of another allegiance, one that no one dared to utter aloud. From the moment he set foot on Roanoke soil, he was watching, waiting, calculating. The first few months were brutal. The colony suffered from dwindling supplies, hostile relations with local tribes, and the gnawing fear that they had been abandoned. Governor John White, tasked with leading the settlement, made the difficult decision to return to England for supplies, leaving behind his daughter, Eleanor Dare, and his newborn granddaughter, Virginia Dare. But what the history books don't tell us is that John White wasn't just leaving for supplies, he was also fleeing something else. A deal had been made, and a betrayal was in motion. A secret meeting in the dead of night. One night, under the cover of darkness, Thomas Harcourt slipped away from the settlement and made his way toward the dense forests surrounding Roanoke. There, waiting for him, was a figure cloaked in the shadows of the trees, a stranger who did not belong to the English, nor entirely to the local tribes. Their voices were low, urgent. "It is done," Harcourt muttered, his breath coming in sharp gasps. "White is leaving. The colony is weak. You'll have what was promised." The stranger nodded, eyes gleaming in the moonlight. "And in return, you will have what was promised to you." Harcourt swallowed hard. He knew that to betray his own people was unthinkable, but he had no choice. He had uncovered something buried beneath Roanoke, something that should have never been found. And the only way to save himself was to trade the lives of the colony for his own escape. A sinister plan takes shape. The following day saw strange occurrences. Colonists reported whispers in the woods, distant figures moving just out of sight. Some claimed they heard drums beating in the night, an eerie rhythm that seemed to pulse beneath the ground itself. Harcourt remained silent. He watched as fear spread through the settlement like wildfire, knowing that soon they would all vanish, just as promised. And when John White returned 3 years later to find the settlement eerily deserted, he would never know that the word Croatoan was not a clue left by his people, but a warning, a name spoken in whispered fear, a name tied to the betrayal that doomed Roanoke.